What is up, you guys? It is Daniel, and today I'm bringing you guys an how to go wipe video. We're gonna start off with Franco going in on this max defense Town Hall 8. The walls are not maxed out, but most of them are, so it's looking pretty good. Now the first thing that we know about go wipe is you want to start on a flat side with golems wide spread. Now the P.E.K.K.A.s, they could come straight down the middle or they could come in the sides like Franco does here. In this situation, the reason Franco brought the P.E.K.K.A.s on the sides instead of the middle is because he had already wall broken in, so you might as well. Now watch the rage spell right here, right on the kill team where the enemy clan castle is. This is very important because you want your wizards to take out the dragon and balloons or Valkyries, whatever is inside the CC, as quickly as possible. Now he still has 2 heal spells left over. Most of the time, Franco is going to be using the heal spell on the P.E.K.K.A. and King. He's waiting for his troops to make it to the core, and then he drops a heal spell right in the middle of the base. This is important because so often when you do a go wipe, your troops will get stuck in the middle, and you don't want them to all die there, so you do want to save that heal spell for when all the defenses are attacking you. Now the P.E.K.K.A.s make it through the walls. Now, it is good to have 2 to 3 P.E.K.K.A.s because the P.E.K.K.A.s will really bash through those walls regardless of what level, especially at Town Hall 8. Those level 8 skull walls will not be able to stop P.E.K.K.A.s. It only takes P.E.K.K.A.s about 3 to 4 swipes, and if you have 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, then that's only 2 swipes. Now at the end, just saving the heal spell, just being patient until the end is pretty important because at the end oftentimes you'll have, let's say, the Barb King and 1 P.E.K.K.A. and a couple wizards left over. That is when you want to drop the heal spell because you need those troops to survive all the way to the end to finish the cleanup. Now of course, if Franco had like maybe 5 Hog Riders inside the clan castle, I think this would have been even more of an overkill. 5 Hog Riders with a heal spell is very useful, but Franco decides to just bring in wizards in his clan castle. Now some people will say that the go wipes are only lucky attacks, but we see here again Franco using go wipe against this base design, which is not a go wipe base at all. Now the reason this is not a go wipe base is because there are so many wall compartments. You have to be careful when you go in on these bases with a large ring and Teslas in the core, because the Teslas will do a lot of damage to your P.E.K.K.A.s. You know that the Teslas do the 2 times damage to P.E.K.K.A.s, so you do want to be careful about when you have Teslas right in the middle of the base. Again though, Franco uses the rage spell on the dragon. The dragon goes down in just a couple shots to the wizards. Now in this situation, if I were Franco, I actually would drop the poison as well as the rage spell, but it seems like Franco doesn't even like to use the poison spell. I don't think I ever see Franco use the poison spell. Now, if there are wizards in the clan castle, you have to make sure that you drop the poison, because balloons and especially wizards do so much damage to your golems, so you do want to drop that poison spell on the enemy clan castle troops, especially if there are wizards or balloons. But now Franco just making it around the base. Now this is why the attack took so long. You notice that the attack took 2 minutes and 50 seconds this time. That's a little bit risky because we're looking at an attack that could run out of time if you're a little bit unlucky. The reason for that is because there are these buildings in the middle, especially the Teslas, which are so dangerous. You see Franco smartly healing his P.E.K.K.A., but the P.E.K.K.A. is taking a lot of damage from that middle Tesla. But not a problem. Now that the Tesla locks onto the golem, this is what you want. You want the Tesla to attack the golem, and the reason is the golem has so much health, and if the Tesla is attacking your golem, then obviously it cannot attack your P.E.K.K.A. until it kills the golem. Now the other reason this attack took such a long time was there were troll buildings all over the corner. So nonetheless, a very nice attack by Franco. Good stuff. Now we have one more. This one's nothing special about this except for the fact that it's an overkill and he's going to take out this base in 1 minute 40 seconds. This is the kind of base where you want to do a narrow go wipe. The reason I make a difference between the narrow go wipe and the wide go wipe, the previous 2 attacks you saw how Franco brought in the golems in a really wide angle, but this time around the golems and P.E.K.K.A. are all going straight down the middle. And the reason for that is, first of all, rage spell to take out that enemy dragon. There goes the dragon. Now the P.E.K.K.A.s and golems will walk straight into the base and all around the base. Now for these wide bases where there's only 1 or 2 or 3 huge compartments, I call this the open base design, where it's just a square with one center compartment. And these base designs are perfect for gowipe. You notice that Franco has so many troops left over and he still has a heal spell and a poison spell left over. If you ever see a base design like this which is open, and by the way, the minions barely survived not being taken out by the red bomb. But if you see a base design like that, then you want to make sure that you use gowipe or gowipe. Very effective against those open base designs, whereas hog riders are a little bit more difficult. Same thing with this base design. It seems like you could use hog riders on this base, but I would even prefer to use gowipe instead of hog riders. Now all of you guys know that hog riders is a great attack strategy. It does take a lot of skill and precision to get the hog rider attacks down, especially if it's your first time using hog riders. So for these open flag bases, we call these white flag bases. This is very similar to the open base design that we saw on the previous attack. This is a perfect base design to use gowipe on. As you see Joker doing here, the other thing that I like about this is Joker is bringing in hog riders from his clan castle. If you have 5 max level hog riders with a heal spell, they can take out 5-6 defenses by themselves. You notice already these 5 hog riders have taken out 4 defenses by themselves. They do end up surviving until the end. Great heal spell by Joker. And he gets the 3-star. Under 2-minute attack again. Now we have Dark Presidents versus Duke. Now these are going to be a few failed attacks. I'm showing these because this is not how you do a gowipe. First of all, Dark President uses earthquake spells to get into the middle of the base. It seems like it would be a great idea. Hey, the earthquake spell takes out walls, does a little bit of damage, and your troops can run around in the middle of the base. But the problem with using earthquake in this situation is that Duke has so many compartments. By the way, this is Bobbin's old base design, but Duke has about 16 compartments in this base. And so even though his troops have made it to the core, first of all, his golems are outside. That is a huge mistake. His golems are going to the outside, the P.E.K.K.A is going to the outside, and the wizards have pretty much no protection in the middle. The other thing about this attack is that when you use an earthquake spell, that takes up 4 troop space, which is the same thing as a rage and a heal. You might as well just save the earthquake spell, have an extra heal spell, and have an extra rage spell, and that way you won't lose all your troops like Dark Presidents did here. Unfortunately, he is unable to get the 3-star against our base design. But now Franco is going to get revenge on Dark Presidents for us. He is going to be using gowipe again. 2-minute gowipe against an almost max defense base. He does have a high level Barbarian King on this defense. So this is just a great attack, a very solid gowipe against what I call an open base design. Again, you see that huge compartment in the middle, and that means that Franco's golems and wizards and P.E.K.K.As and Barbarian King can walk around in the middle of the base without being disrupted by walls. Again, Franco does the smart thing, dropping the rage spell on his kill team. There goes the balloon. The dragon is going to go down in just a couple of shots to that rage wizard. That's what I really love about Franco's go-wipes. He uses the rage spell on the enemy clan castle to make sure the enemy clan castle goes down as quickly as possible. Now the heal spell, just on the P.E.K.K.As. That was not a perfect heal spell. That heal spell was slightly misplaced, but it is all good. Franco is still going to be overkilling this base. And the reason this was such an overkill was because it was good base selection. Franco is doing the smart thing by choosing a base that is very weak against gowipe. And so we see that he has already taken out pretty much all the defenses, and cleanup only takes him 30 seconds. The way that I know whether or not an attack is good is if the attack finishes in under 2 minutes. That's usually a good thing for Clash of Clans attacks. The other thing is, when the cleanup is quick, after you take out all the defenses, see how long it takes for the troops to clean up. You see that Franco has lots of troops left over at the end, and it also only took him 30 seconds to clean up all those trash buildings, meaning that it was a very well planned attack and a very well executed attack. But now let's check out some more failed attacks. This time it is Super Dude against our number 8 Criminal. Now the problem again with this gowipe is the narrow golems. You see how all of his wizards and golems are right up in that one area, and what's going to happen is The splash damage, I'm talking about the mortars, the whiz towers, will do lots of damage to you. And even worse is that Super Dude's troops are not able to take out many buildings at the same time. The P.E.K.K.A.s are pretty much useless. They're just destroying one building at a time. That is a waste of P.E.K.K.A.s, and now he almost does get lucky. You notice that because Criminal has lower level walls and lower level defenses, whereas Super Dude has level 3 P.E.K.K.A.s and a high level Barbarian King, he almost takes out Criminal. But you see right here, he is going to run out of time. Super Dude might say, oh, that's such an unlucky attack, but really, the main thing about that attack is that the golem spread was too narrow, and the P.E.K.K.A.s went outside, which was a mistake. Here's another Earthquake gowipe, which is not going to work. But yeah, I do like to show these failed attacks because, not to show off our defenses, which are great by the way, but the reason I show these failed defenses is because, the reason I show these failed attacks is because you do want to learn what not to do. This is even more important than learning how to do the gowipe. You really have to learn what not to do so that you do not make these same mistakes. In this situation, Suyoga did drop the poison spell, but you see that he did not drop the rage spell. It took his troops such a long time to kill that dragon. Now the P.E.K.K.A. comes down, which is great. The one problem about this is that he did not have a rage spell. Also, he's a little bit late on the heal spells. He should be dropping the heal spells by now. If you're going to be using 3 heal spells, that means you should be using Hog Riders. These are all like nitpicky things, but these are the things that you have to keep in mind if you want a 3-star on a consistent basis. The other thing is that in the beginning, the people from Rising Rivals are oftentimes, you guys are dropping your wizards in a very narrow angle. So I'll show you guys what I mean in just a couple replays. Right here, another not so perfect gowipe. First of all, he's going to drop the golems. You see how those 2 golems are right next to each other, and then he spreads his wizards across. Now what I do not like about this attack is the golems are right next to each other. You really want those golems to be spread far apart so they could cover all your wizards. Then he drops his wizards in a wide angle as he did here. That is good. I do like the wizard deployment. The main problem was that he did not have the golems as a shield to protect his wizard. Now this is the one mistake again right here. All the wizards coming down in one area, and then instead of putting the rage on his kill team, he drops a heal spell on his kill team. You always want to drop that rage. There's no need to have heal spells on your golems, no need to have heal spells for your wizards either, because the wizards will die anyway to Teslas and giant bombs just like they do right there. So instead you want to drop the rage spell on the enemy kill team, and then instead of saving the rage spell until the end like Priyanshu does, you should be saving your heal spell for the end, for your Hog Riders or for your P.E.K.K.A. and Barbarian King. So yeah, I know that's a lot of information to digest. I've been talking really fast because there are actually a lot of points that go into a gowipe. A couple mistakes, such as the ones you saw here, like narrow golems and dropping the wizards in one area, those kind of mistakes will mean that you will end up with the 2-star or 1-star unlucky attacks. So you want to avoid the unlucky attacks by doing a very solid gowipe. The final way, which is my favorite way to use the gowipe, is by bringing in Hog Riders on the backside. You see here, Beto, this is going to be a wide spread on the golems, which is beautiful, a wide spread on the wizards, which is also beautiful, then the Barbarian King and P.E.K.K.A. go straight down the middle. This is the way that I usually used to use gowipe. I would bring the P.E.K.K.A. and King right down the middle, wait for the CC troops to come down, and right here the poison and rage should be coming down. The rage spell comes down first, and it turns out he does not use the poison spell, but again, unless there are wizards in the enemy clan castle, the poison spell is not as important. You guys know that the poison spell is very powerful against the wizards because first of all, they'll kill those wizards in just a few seconds. Secondly, the poison spell also slows down the enemy troop movement and attack speed. Very important consideration. But now, Beto is going to bring in surgical Hog Riders all around the base. I do have a much more detailed tutorial on how to use Gowipe, so I will link that video on the top right hand side of this video. Be sure to check out the how to Gowipe because that is probably the second or third most powerful Town Hall 8 attack strategy, and it's also not very difficult to use, definitely in comparison to Surgical Hogs and Goho. So be sure to check that video out. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Much love and peace out.
Bye.